What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Major League Gaming. This is now part 15 of the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time's Major Guide. So in the last video, we took on the Water Temple, and we also managed to help Princess Ruto. Well, we rescued the Zoras, but they're technically still frozen right now. But either way, Lake Hylia is back to normal now, so we're ready to move on. Now, at this point, this is where we actually have to go back in time 7 years as young Link. Before that, however, I'm going to go ahead and get Epona out. We're going to head over to Kakariko Village. Yeah, so the reason why we're stopping at Kakariko Village is because the Shadow Temple will be accessible from here. However, we can't really get to it just yet, though, because there's a specific item that we need in another mini dungeon that we'll be going through in this video. So this is basically part 1 of the Shadow Temple, just under a different title, though. So once we enter Kakariko Village, we'll see that Impa's house is on fire. And why is that you ask? Well, we'll find out from Sheik in just a moment here. So in this cutscene, Sheik tells Link to get back because a mysterious monster comes out of the well and attacks Sheik straight on. This scene actually spooked me out as a kid, just seeing, the mysterious monster, like, attack Sheik invisibly, then coming out of the well. Needless to say, Kakariko Village is once again under a major threat. And it's up to Link to put a stop to it. Yeah, so it goes without saying. We just found out that Imp is actually one of the 6 stages that we need to awaken. But then again, we can't really access it just yet, though, because there's another item that we need to get through it properly. Okay, so until we defeat the boss in the Shadow Temple, Kakariko Village will be left with nothing but rain coming down. Okay, so actually, now that I think about it, there is something else I could do right now. Since I have enough items to do this, it's still fresh in my mind, so I'm going to take care of this first. Okay, so I'm back here in the Gerudo Fortress. We have the membership cards, so we don't have to worry about the guards anymore. want to talk to this woman over here. She's going to allow us into the Gerudo's training ground. The reason why I'm doing this is because there's actually an item that I can get. It's not really required to beat the game, but it's optional though. But if you're 100%, if you're going 100% to this game, you may want to obtain the ice arrow that is in here. Yeah, so this special fairy will restore all of your hearts and magic at the same time. So the general rule here is that we need to go through a bunch of different trials to overcome, and you want to get at least up to 6 or 7 keys total to get the ice arrow. You want to have at least up to the long shot to complete this part. Okay. Every time you complete a trial here, you get a small key. I'm not gonna do every room in this video because it's really not necessary. I'm just gonna complete whatever I need to do to get the ice arrow. So that's really gonna be it here. I forgot there's actually wall masters over here. Not that it really bothers me or anything. Yeah, be mindful of the firewalls that appear. You don't want to touch those. Whoops. I got a fairy with me, so I can use it if I really have to. Okay, that clears the trial then. Perfect. Let's go back up here. Yeah, the boulders don't do much damage, so I should be fine for right now. Okay, I can't do this room, so I'm gonna go back. Okay, so going back just a little bit, I'm gonna go in this other room right now. I went into a room that I can't really complete because I don't have the silver gauntlets or the lens of truth yet. Those creatures, by the way, are called Dinolphos. They're basically a much stronger version of the Zeldas that we fought earlier in Dodongo's cavern. They're really not too much. They're not really anything different from the Zeldas anyway. Across the Sea of Fire. Okay. Okay, yeah. Getting on these, oh, for God's sakes. Yeah, getting on these blocks from an angle is not easy to do. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna have to do it this way then. Thank God I have the rerun function for this, because this part would have been a lot more difficult otherwise. I'll grab that key in just a moment. Let me focus on getting these rupees first. You're definitely gonna need the long shot to get all these rupees as well, so... Okay, let me move up a little bit more closer to this torch. There we go. Okay, that was a bad jump. Let me rewind a little bit. Okay, I'll go into that door later. For right now, I'm gonna go over here instead. I'm gonna grab this small key. Now, if you really want to, you can obtain all the treasures in these chests. The large one has the ice arrow. The rest of these chests are not really that important. You can nab them if you want to. They'll have like a bunch of random things, including some purple rupees and whatnot. If you feel the need to open up these chests, just go for it. It's not that big of a deal, really. Anyway, we're gonna go over here now. Collect the underwater gems, it says. Okay. We need the iron boots for this. Now, if you don't have enough hearts to stay in the water without the Zord tunic for a long time, you may want to put it on. I can get this quickly without it, though, so I should be okay. But even still, though, if you're playing this for the first time, it's probably not worth the risk. You have to know what you're doing first before you do what I'm doing right now. Yeah, so over here you want to deal with the shell blades first. They'll get too much in your way otherwise. Once you do that, align yourself to hookshot the targets and grab the rupees at the same time. It's a lot easier that way. Once you grab all the rupees over here, you can exit the room and go back out and take on a different trial. How did I miss that rupee there? Yeah, I have like 16 heart containers right now, so I should be okay with what I got. Aim carefully. There we go. Okay. That's another small key for us. Excellent. Come on, Link. Work with me here, buddy. So I'm gonna get at least 4 more keys before I start opening up all the locked doors in the main room. We're gonna go over here now. Yeah, so the first thing is take out all the enemies here, and then start looking for what you need. Get over here. There's an ice switch and also a normal switch to step on. That Keese was like so stubborn. Wow. Yeah, that chest is not the one with the small key inside of it. So I'm gonna leave it alone for right now. Actually, I'm gonna open it anyway, just get my arrows back up. Okay, there's the ice switch. That's supposed to open up the next door that I can go into. This takes off the ring of fire, blocking the chest containing the small key here. Excellent. Okay. Let's proceed. Yeah, this one's not too complicated. I'll just shoot the eyes of the statue, and you'll get your small key from here. Okay, yeah. So at this point, I should have enough keys to get to the ice arrow now. Let's get to it then. Okay, so once we get back over here, we're gonna go to this middle door in the very center of this room. From here, you want to go to your left and start opening up these doors. There's another key that we can obtain by climbing up this wall. There's an invisible hole in the ceiling that allows us to get another small key. I'm gonna go ahead and grab it for myself right now. Okay, and we can jump down and start unlocking these doors until we get to the ice arrow. Yeah, so you need like a total of 7 keys to get the ice arrow, and that includes the one that I just got here earlier. All right, we have the ice arrow in our possession now. We can freeze our enemies. However, I must say that this arrow isn't really the most useful in the game. It was just here to allow us to pass a certain trial, but that's really about it. Okay. We can now get out of here. I'm going to use the, I'm going to play the Pluto Light on my Ocarina. And we're going to travel back in time 7 years backwards. Yeah, so we went through the forest to help Saria. We traveled over Death Mountain. Well, we got into Death Mountain's, like Death Mountain's created to help Darunia. We went underwater to help Ruto save the Zoras, and now we have to travel through time to help the other sages. Okay, now that we're young Link again, there are a couple things we can do right now. The first thing is that there's actually a Skulltula near Hyrule Castle that I can obtain by playing the Song of Storms, and we have that already. We will also need the Song of Storms to access a certain mini dungeon, which we'll be doing in just a moment. Okay. So we're gonna go over to the Hyrule Castle. I'll need to snatch a bug first. So if you need a bug to put in your bottle, grab this rock and just drop it and then snag the bug. Right next to this tree, get your Ocarina and play the Song of Storms to make a hole appear next to it. Okay, we're gonna need some bombs to blast these holes down, or walls down, I mean, excuse me. Okay, let's do that. One of these walls has the gold sculpture that we need to obtain. You can just ignore the skull waltulas and just go for the gold sculptula. Well, I don't want to take it up, but okay. Works for me, though. Okay. Also, keep in mind, too, that even though you can go through the castle courtyard here, I'm just going to point this out anyway because I think it's important for you guys to know. If you try going through the castle courtyard again, it's not going to be accessible anymore because, well, Ganondorf attacked our castle earlier, and now we can't even get to the courtyard again. So, yeah, so even if you try, you'll be kicked out right away. Enough about that, though. Let me get my magic beans and bug out. I need to head over to the Death Monster Crater now. There's a patch of soil next to where we warp. We need this for later to get a heart piece that is somewhere that's hanging somewhere on the in the crater. All right, go ahead and plant this thing. Drop some bugs down. That's where the heart piece is. Okay, that's taken care of now. Excellent. Before we head over to our next mini dungeon, I'm going to go over to where the frogs are again. I'm going to play the Song of Storms first, then the Song of Time. If you play the Song of Storms, the frogs will give you a heart piece as a reward. You're definitely going to need this for later on, so make sure you grab this first. Okay, so at this point we have 17 heart containers right now. Once the frogs are all big, we'll have to play a mini game to get another heart piece here. Okay, yeah, this part's pretty tricky. You really have to memorize this whole thing to get the other heart piece here. I mean, it's easy for me because I know how it operates and everything. Alright, now we are ready to take on our next mini dungeon, so we're going to go into the windmill and play the Song of Storms. This will cause the windmill to go out of control, and the water in the well will be drained out. That gives us access to the bottom of the well, which is the name of the dungeon that we'll be going into right now. Alright, now that it's all taken care of, we're going to go down into the well right now and take on the dungeon. Only young Link can get through here. Now, if you're playing this game for the first time, this dungeon will be very, very difficult for you to get through. You can target the skeletons here, and Navi will tell you what the spirits are saying. Look for the Eye of Truth, which is basically that we'll be getting in just a moment here. So anyway, so we're gonna go through this wall here. Now this is where it gets like really tricky. So if you see like these red cracks on the pile of the skulls here, use a bomb to blast it open and open up whatever you see down here. We got ourselves some more bomb chew. Having more bomb chew is always going to be a useful thing. They're not really needed to clear the game or anything, but we definitely want to have more of them for later. Okay, so what we want to do first, this chest has a small key in here. If we're going to get through this place properly, we need to find the map and the compass first. But to get such a thing is going to be rather tricky, though. You want to be careful with where you walk in this place, because There are a lot of hidden holes here that we can fall into. Which we may need to do, actually. There is a way to get the compass here. All you have to do is go, like, hug this wall, and until you find a wall, you can pass through and open up the chest. This contains the compass, but the map is right below us. However, the path to the map is dangerous, though. Whew, that's scary. So in this room, you'll have to deal with the Redeads first. Take them out. That way, that'll get in your way. Since we're young Link, you definitely want to stay behind the Redead and just, you know, slash their backs until they're dead. Yeah, use a bomb to blast these rocks down, but wait a little bit to play the Sun Song again, because the Redead will be frozen. Well, he'll stop being frozen after a while. Okay. I'm gonna play the Sun Song again for this. Now you can either take out the Redead first, or ignore it and get the map and just leave. It's your call. Yeah, either way you look at it, the Redeads here are a major threat in this game, so don't take them too lightly whatever you do. Once that's done, we're going to grab these silver rupees to access a door that'll take us back to the main floor that we were at earlier. From there, we will need to go ahead and use our map and compass to find the Lens of Truth. There are also some gold sculptures that we can get here, too. Okay, so if we look at the map, we can see where we could get some treasure chests at, as well as the location of where the Lens of Truth will be. We're gonna go for that first, though. Yeah, we can't really leave here until we get all the gold sculptures in the dungeon. Okay, we have to drain out the water first before we can get to the Lens of Truth. There's a mini-boss we'll have to defeat. But first, we have to drain the water out first before we can even do that. It's gonna be right over here. Play Zelda's Lullaby and the water will be drained out. Okay, so the Lens of Truth is going to be down here in this area. Let's open up the chest, see what we get out of it. Got some bombs. Okay. I'm cool with that. A skeleton will be blocking the door. We'll take it out right away. A simple jump attack will do just fine. Alright. So this is where the mini-boss will come into play. The name of the mini-boss is called the Dead Hand. Oof, yikes. That's actually pretty creepy. If these guys get close to you, they'll bite you in the head. Ugh, nasty. However, unlike the Redeads, the Dead Hands are not much of a threat. But you want to keep your distance from these guys, you know, and stay away from the Infinite Hands, so you can take it out easily. You have to get close to one of its hands to make it appear. Okay. Now that the Dead Hand's defeated, we get the Lens of Truth. Our work here's not done yet, though, because there's still a lot of things we need to collect here. Okay, excellent. Let's go and get it out. There's actually another chest here containing a large rupee. I'm not going to grab it though because, well, my rupee wallet is already full enough as it is, so I can't even get any more rupees. Anyway, we're going to crawl back out through this hole again. And we're going to head over... I'm going to use the Lens of Truth to get whatever I need to get right now. There's another room with a small key that I need to get. We'll worry about that in just a moment, though. If you need to, take out the screen bubble before moving on. The Lens of Truth will allow you to see walls and other things that are invisible to you. There is a wall master around here, so let's be careful. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and go through these doors here. There's some gold sculptures waiting for me as well. The boomerang is great for taking out the keys here. Try to have this place memorized if you need to after using the Lens of Truth. If it's safer for you, just have it out if you want to get through it more quickly. I strongly advise, you know, memorizing the place though. Okay, let me go over here actually. Because there's actually another small key I need to get first before I do anything else. It's gonna be right through that door over there. Okay, so we have a new enemy called the Gibdo. Gibdos are basically the mummified versions of the Re-Deads in this game. So play the Sun Song, get behind it, and then start slashing away at it. Yeah, Gibdos and Re-Deads are basically the same kind of enemy, just different, just like different texture and everything. Light this torch over here to open up the casket. It'll contain a small key and some keys to deal with. Excellent. Once we have the keys taken out, we're going to grab the small key and then exit the room. Okay, so we're going to go back over here again because there's actually another door that we can access with the key. Okay, so we're gonna go over here now. That is guarding another gold skull, so we're gonna go for it right now. Then we'll have to crawl through this hole and use our last key to open up the door. Alright. Watch out though, because there are some fire keys here. Oh man, my deck of shield got burnt. However, I'm not really too worried though, because the chest that's over here actually has another deck of shield waiting for me, so I can just open it up and get my shield back. But yeah, if you're dealing with fire enemies, don't have your deck shield out if there's fire enemies in a room, because, well, actually I'm gonna leave my shield off right now. I need to deal with this like first before I put it back on. Otherwise, if I don't, the deck shield will eat my shield, and that's gonna be even bad. Yeah, because Link's sword is a lot smaller, the enemies here take more hits to defeat them with. Anyway, that should be the last Skulltula for us to attain here. Alright, let me check the map first before we move on. Yep, that's all of them. Yeah, so there are some chests that we left behind, but they're not really that important, so we're just going to head on out of here. Okay, now that we have the Lens of Truth, there's a certain minigame we could play here. But it has to be nighttime for this minigame to be accessible to us. Talk to this guy over here and he'll give you a small key to play his minigame for. Yeah, so to get through this minigame, use the Lens of Truth to basically cheat your way through and get the small keys out of the chest. Alternatively, if you have the Switch 2 and you're playing this game on the Switch 2, you can also use the rewind function to beat this minigame. The problem though is that it's a lot more time consuming, so I recommend against doing that. But yeah, the rewind function can help you get this minigame. It's just more time consuming. Anyway, we'll get this minigame as it is. The last room will have the next heart piece that I need to get. And there it is, we get the heart piece. Now we can go back to being adult Link, since we have everything we need here. Alright, so Young Link's work is done here for now. We'll have to be Young Link again for something else, though, so... his quest here isn't really completely finished as of right now. Once we grab the Master Sword, we're going to head over to the Death Mountain Crater to get the heart piece that we can get with using the Magic Bean platform. But I also need to go back to Dongo's Cavern because I just remembered that we haven't got the Skulltulas there yet. They're really not that hard to get, though, so it should be a cakewalk. Alright, so upon warping over here, the Magic Beam platform is going to be right over here. Once it gets high enough, just jump off the platform and get to the heart piece. Alright, I'll make my way over to Dodongo's Cavern right now then. Okay, so before we do anything, I'm gonna make a shortcut using Farore's Wind. That way we can come back here easily once we get all the Skulltulas. So the first one I'm gonna go for... well, I'm probably not gonna have time to get to it, but... I'm gonna go for the one over here first, actually. Whoops. This could be on the first floor. I'm gonna focus on that one, actually, yeah. But you need the Scarecrow song for it. Yeah, it's gonna be right over here. The Scarecrow song is kind of annoying to place in heads because if you have to be either far enough or close enough for it to be played and for the Scarecrow to appear. Luckily, in Majora's Mask, that got improved. All right, so we got the Skulltula down here. We have to go to the second floor, though. Okay, so by taking the elevator that we just took just now, there's a little backtracking that we have to go through to get the other Skulltula. Now, if I remember correctly, I gotta try to remember where it's at right now. Okay, it's not gonna be this way, I know that. Alright, good. It's supposed to be over here. I can rewind if I have to. You definitely need to backtrack a little bit to get to the Skulltula, though, either way. Okay, that's not gonna work. Yeah, it's kind of annoying that we have to backtrack a little bit just to get some Skulltulas and some dungeons, but it's not that big of a deal, though. The ones here are relatively easy to get. Okay, we're going the right way now. Okay, here we are. So we're gonna go down this way. There are some vines we can climb up to get the Skulltula here. This should be the last one to get. Okay, excellent. That should be the last Skulltula. Alright, we are ready to move forward then. Awesome. Okay, so our next stop is the Shadow Temple. However, that's going to have to happen in another video for another day. Because I'm actually out of time, and, you know, given that I did this video on a Sunday, I'm not going to have time to make another video. So this is where I'm going to call it quits right now, guys. So next video, we're going to conquer the Shadow Temple together. It's actually not as bad as the Water Temple, to say the very least. But it's definitely a lot tricky to get through, so I'm going to go ahead and stop the video right here. This is Major League Gaming, logging out. You guys have a good one. Thank you for watching.